We're going to go and create a big, massive wall. Hey, Donald Trump. So, tell us, what is your opinion about, the nuclear triad and what the United States, how we should maintain it? Do you think there's anything we can do to improve the nuclear triad? Well, I believe nuclear is important. I'm Iraq. I called Iraq. In 2004, I called Iraq. I called it 2 years after the war started already. I called it. I said it was going to destabilize the Middle East. I called it. Proof. I know what I'm talking about. Crazy people all over the world. It's nuclear is devastating. It's devastating power. The power is just devastating. The devastation of nuclear the devastation of it just it just oozes all over my Donald Trump tie and my Donald Trump suit, my Donald Trump pants and my Donald Trump shoes, all which are made in Mexico. But we're going to make a big wall, a big massive wall that these short Mexicans can't reach. We'll just make it a 6 foot tall wall. They won't be able to reach it then. And then we're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna just put alligators in the Rio Grande. Big alligators with big teeth. With big claws and big teeth. And if those rapists and murderers, try and get in, I mean, some of them are good people, but I'm sure, and they love me. The Latinos love me. I am the least racist, bigoted, xenophobic person on earth. Okay, but we need to create a wall. I mean, just ask Israel and their wall. Look how they just, look at what they do with the Palestinians with their wall. Their big, massive, beautiful wall. We're going to put a beautiful door in the wall. We're just going to this huge, massive wall. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be so great. I promise you, it's going to be so great. I mean, it's look at the polls. Look at the polls. 40%, 39%. Look at these losers at 3%. Losers. Look at these losers. Come on. I promise you, if you vote for me, we're going to be so great again. We're going to be so great. Like when slavery was still legal. That we're going to be that great again. We're going to be so great, like in the Jim Crow era. We're going to be so great that when women couldn't vote, didn't have a right to vote. We're going to be, America's going to be so great again. Like when we slaughtered all those Native Americans. We're going to be so great. So we're going to ban all Muslims from coming into this country to be great. We don't need Muslims coming in. I mean, just for a little bit. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of crazy stuff. We don't know what's going on. We just got to figure it out. Let's just stop. Let's put a pause. Let's look into the mosque. Let's just stop all Muslims on the street. If a Muslim's jaywalking, just turn them in. ISIS. Fear. It's crazy people everywhere. I mean, they're still celebrating 9/11 today. Just the other day, I was walking down the street, and I saw it, looking out of my limo, outside of my limo. Just the other week, I saw it. Muslims are celebrating 9/11. I saw it with my eyes. It's you all know you saw it too, right? Nod your heads, bow your heads. Me Trump, me Trump. Have you guys noticed? Have you noticed? This motherfucker's so primitive. Have you noticed though how Trump, literally, he has center stage. I like how they do it, man. You can literally do studies on monkeys, just watching these Republican debates. Literally, he stands in the middle of the stage and he does the with the fist. You can just picture a big gorilla in the middle of the freaking stage, right? With this fist and shit, on the table. Me Trump, me build big wall, me millionaire. Me have a lot of friends. Me get along with Putin. This motherfucker is so stupid, and his followers are so stupid. They don't even realize that if you know anything about like Russian politics or anything remotely, look, if you're an average person, you shouldn't know this, right? But if you're running for president of the United States, you should know what, like what a nuclear triad is, for God's sakes. If there's one thing you want someone running for president to know a lot about, is the nuclear triad, okay? Something that, that has the potential, all right, the different variety of ways, the 3 ways we have to launch nuclear weapons. Like, we're talking some sophisticated shit that somebody running for president should know about, right? And this guy goes on rambling on. He just rambles on. Like, he doesn't answer a question. He's never called out on it. Shit's insane. And if he is called out on it, like, his followers think he's being attacked. You know, they say it's a gotcha. Oh, nuclear triad, that's a gotcha. That's not a gotcha. That's like pretty common sense shit. Like, what do you mean that's a gotcha? Like, that's pretty, you know, like, that shit's insane. But have you noticed, though, how he does the whole monkey thing, you know, and then, like, every single time, man, like, every single time, like, his followers just watch, and when he puts down these politicians, it's just, it's funny to watch. I'm not going to lie, how he just slaps them around. Shut up, Jeb Bush. You know, you're so tough. Yeah. You're so tough, Jeb. You're so tough. Man, I don't know, man. Like, one of these days, Jeb Bush is going to punch Donald Trump in the face. Like, it's going to happen. Like, I don't know. I don't think Jeb has the balls to do it. And I think, you see, that's the presence. The presence of toughness is what people are looking for, right? Donald Trump has the worst temperament ever. If this guy, if you trust this guy behind the nuclear codes, okay, I mean, I just don't, he loses his mind when somebody just questions him on the stage, okay? Like, he loses his mind right away. Like, oh yeah, my numbers, I'm winning, you're a loser. You know, it's just, I don't know, man. And then you see all these Republicans just, like freaking, it's just so sad. We're watching like Ted Cruz just lick Donald Trump's balls, man, on stage. It's just, man, Ted Cruz. If there's one person that annoys me more than Donald Trump, it's Ted Cruz. I cannot stand Ted Cruz. You know, I want to thank Donald Trump for bringing the conversation of illegal immigration. Like, motherfucker, your name is Ted Cruz. Okay, the same with the other motherfucker. What's his name, man? The other guy. Fuck. Rubio. Marco Rubio. Same shit, like same bullshit. Talking about all these people that are coming to this country. We don't know who they are. They're fleeing. They're talking shit about Syrian refugees. Fleeing, okay, ISIS, right? They're fleeing like a war zone. They're fleeing people that hate us. Like here they are, they help us, right? These motherfuckers, their fathers came from Cuba, fleeing Castro, right? I mean, that is insane. That is the height of hypocrisy, right? But nonetheless, this GOP field is a fucking joke, all right? And you know, you always hear him talk about Ronald Reagan, like Ronald Reagan this, and like this GOP field, all right? Ronald Reagan would be booed by, you know, now I know what you're thinking, they love the idea of Ronald Reagan, right? That's what they love. They love the myth of Ronald Reagan. That's what they love, right? But Ronald Reagan, like he wasn't as extreme as like a Donald Trump, man. Like, you know, I'm not a Ronald Reagan fan, but he would be getting booed by these. Like, if it wasn't like just put someone else, right, with the same ideology of Ronald Reagan on that stage, he would be getting booed. Like, Donald Trump is slapping him around. And he doesn't slap him around because he gives a better point or intellectual point. I mean, this base is anti-intellectual. Like, if you say something smart, it doesn't resonate with these people. they're like, oh no, no, that's too smart. He's talking. He's not talking like one of us. Have you heard him say? Have you seen his focus groups? The shit's scary. Like, oh, I feel like Donald's talking to me. He's talking to me. Donald Trump is saying it's like a wet dream to them. He's saying everything they've been wanting to hear. Everything. Like, let's ban all Muslims. Let's build a big, massive wall to keep the illegal immigrants out. It's always these right-wingers that make a big deal about everything. Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't see Asians walking around like, oh, what do you mean Black Lives? What about Asian lives? Like, you just don't see it. It's just not like a big movement of Asians making a big deal about it. You don't see Hispanics making a big deal about it, like in large part, right? But these right-wingers, they just don't get it. They're the only idiots in this entire country that honestly believe that when someone says Black Lives Matter, right? They're the only idiots that interpret that as only Black Lives Matter. They're the only morons that interpret it that way. The shit is insane. They're blithering idiots. Okay? They are attacking people at their rallies, spitting on people in their rallies, dragging people out of their rallies. Real tough guys, because they're mobs, man. They're fucking mobs, and then you just see it on their faces. Like, it's just, they honestly believe, like, this guy would be an amazing president. And I was going to say about Putin, I kind of trolled off, and I wanted to come back to that. If those listening, you're probably wondering, like, whoa, okay, go back to that. Putin was mocking us. He was mocking all of us, the entire fucking country. And he was mocking Donald Trump. He was mocking him. Like, oh yeah, he what do you think about Donald Trump? Oh, he's brilliant. He's a pretty swell guy, Have you ever seen someone do something stupid and then, you say, oh yeah, brilliant, right? Have you ever? He's mocking the guy, and then Donald Trump comes out in the news like, oh yeah, it's mutual. We get along. Me and Putin, we be taking shots of I don't know, whatever the fuck these rich and famous motherfuckers drink, right? I think tequila and Hennessy. I don't know. That's too passe for these people, But I'm just saying, I don't think tequila could be too passe for anybody, to be honest. At least the good shit from Mexico, right? But how are you gonna get that shit over with a big wall, right? But anyway, I'm telling you, it's just, he's mocking Donald Trump, and then all his supporters like to eat it up. Like did you see like those memes that they were putting out? Like Obama was like on a bike, right? And yeah, Obama had, he was riding a bike, and he had, with his daughters, and he had like one of those helmets, right? Which I'm not gonna lie, that shit looks goofy as hell on a bicycle. But it is what it is, But they were putting these memes, right, comparing that, like Obama on a bicycle with that helmet on, to like Putin with a shirt off on a horse, looking all tough. These people are so dumb, man. Like they want a leader that they don't even care if this leader lies to them. They just want the presence of power, of strength, because that's what Donald Trump, to them personifies. Listen to his focus groups. Listen to what they say. Listen to their language. Oh, I feel like he's speaking to me. No, I feel like he's one of us. Like, they honestly believe that Donald Trump is one of them. The thought of it is like insane. It is insane, right? But even if he did think he was one of you, do you believe that one of you is qualified to be president of the United States, right? A lot of these Republicans, man, like, look at Donald Trump. He went on a rant about how he was right about Iraq, about how nuclear is devastating. I mean, he was getting a nuclear hard-on while he was talking about nuclear and the devastation of it. I mean, shit's insane, right? It was so devastating. It's devastating. I'm really intrigued by the devastation of nuclear. Like, who talks like that? Like a presidential candidate. Welcome to the new century, people, right? Marco Rubio had it all wrong. Marco Rubio spent half of his answer, right, explaining to the people at home, right, to these blithering idiots on the other side of the screen and in the audience. He spent half of his answer educating and explaining to people what the nuclear triad is. They don't care about all that. They want you to talk tough and like, you know, and like we're gonna just carpet bomb and just bomb them all and bomb their families and bomb. Let's just go ahead and bomb, you know, just bomb ISIS to oblivion, you know, bomb them till there's no, you know, trace of ISIS left. These motherfuckers are so stupid. This is a terrorist network. Right? It's not like they're just hanging around in some fucking cave or like, I just don't know what these people think. It's a terrorist network. Right? They're a little more sophisticated than you think. They do have armies and they have certain control of certain places in Iraq and Syria. Right? And it's a very complicated, you know, complex thing. Right? But they're meshed up in areas with some of the people who we consider allies of ours, and you know, that's how we're trying to establish some no-fly zones, and the Russians are bombing some of our allies, trying to bomb ISIS. It's a big fucking mess, right? This idea that it's going to go bomb women and children, and then they come up with this stupid... Have you heard this new, like, Republican defense? Have you heard it? Oh, it's everybody just wants to be PC. PC! Enough of the PC bullshit. You know, like you got Ben Carson, you know, we need to ask, you know, our founding fathers. This guy's talking about them like they're his founding fathers. This shit's sad, right? Our founding fathers, you know, when they thought of this country for us, like, oh, like, look, man. Okay, but anyway, like here, like you don't want to be PC, like for real? Like let's not be PC at all, huh? I mean, let's first talk about their PC thing. These guys say some outrageous shit, and then they follow it up with, hey, we can't be PC no more. You know, PC is making us weak. PC is this, like, look, I'll be the first one to admit, right, that, like, the PC in college campuses and shit like that is getting out of hand, right? There is, in fact, a thing called PC police, like these overly sensitive morons, okay, way too far to the left, and they're a problem in themselves. I'll be the first one to admit that, okay? But you can't say something like, oh yeah, we're just going to bomb ISIS. You know what, let's target their families. Donald Trump said these people don't care about their lives, but believe me, they care about their families' lives. We'll go after their family. What is it? What are we now, the mafia and shit? I don't even think the mafia does that. Like, this shit's insane. Some of the most brutal gangsters in the world don't, like, purposely target the families. Like, you know, that's some brutal shit, right? So, like, a presidential candidate said that on television. And these people love it. Like, they love it. A lot of this Republican base, when they think Muslims in the Middle East, they don't think about human beings, right? Flesh and blood. That's not what they think about. They literally believe that they're all ISIS and they're all jihadists. That's what they think. Like they're fucking morons, right? That they're beating up like just random Muslims minding their own business in the street. Just beating the shit out of them. That shit's insane. Are there terrible jihadists out there? Sure, of course there are. There's also terrible, you know, white people that shoot up black churches, you know. There's terrible people in every race, right? But we can't go around just accusing everybody of being ISIS, man. That shit's insane, man. Like the hate crimes going up against Muslims is crazy in this country, right? It is. The paranoia is it's insane. I mean, Los Angeles closed down the entire fucking schools because there was some text message with a threat. You know, I mean, what? Every time there's a text message that says jihad on it, we're gonna fucking get scared? Is that what it is? I mean, schools get bomb threats and shit like that all the time. They don't shut down an entire freaking district, entire city, by the way, right? And then you got, you know, big ass, you know, Christie on stage trying to. He's like, Obama's the reason they closed down those schools. He doesn't keep you safe. Man, that guy, I'm telling you, man. And then you got Marco Rubio, who said one of the most dangerous things I've ever heard in my life. Okay? This is, you got to listen to these things. Okay? And this actually, like, the Republicans love this. It's a slippery slope, folks. Right? When Marco Rubio said that this was perhaps, it's not the worst answer in context, like it wasn't like a stupid answer, right? But like Donald Trump wise, but it was the most dangerous answer, right? Although it's up there, like, you know. But when Marco Rubio said, all right, this is what he said, and when you first hear it, your first reaction might be, well, yeah, right. Marco Rubio said, if you align yourself with ISIS, we're not going to read your Miranda rights. You lost all your rights as a citizen. Right? Listen to what they're saying. They want to declare war on ISIS. Right? And if you do that, anyone who quote-unquote aligns themselves with ISIS, okay, will forfeit all their rights. Really? So, like, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? What if they're wrong? What if just the context of it? Like, what if people accuse you of it just because you're a Muslim? They're already accusing people of being members of ISIS. Like 60-year-old like Muslims that have been in the community for years, like running some, you know, convenience store. You know, just an example, just being accused of being a Muslim and shit. Like for no reason. These Muslim women just being harassed because they choose to just wear that shit over their head, right? It's their business. It's their life. But, oh, take that off. This is America. Right? Crazy. Okay? Look, man. We are at a crossroads right now. Technically speaking, with a Patriot Act, they could already do that. But like, if it's at a point where people will love hearing that, they don't understand the slippery slope of it. That means that if the government suspects you of terror activity, so if you put a tweet out saying, hey, those ISIS guys, I don't agree with what they're doing, but, you know, I don't blame them for what they did. It's just hypothetically, right? Let's say somebody tweeted that. What, they could be accused of being terrorists? Shit's insane, folks. Okay, we can't do that, man. Like you know, it's just dangerous. Like, these proposals from the Republicans are dangerous as fuck, right? The shooting in California was a terrible thing, but we have mass shootings here all the time, right? But when it's a Muslim, like, everybody loses their shit. I told you, okay? But anyway, peace out.